Okay guys, this is a slash video response kind of a review for those of you who, like me, had some doubts regarding the new Tron cycles from Spin Masters. And as you can see, we have both models here. We have the Kevin Flynn and the Sam Flynn. They're both out of package. We're not going to go into a lot of detail. I'm just going to explain to you some little details that are missed in some of the reviews out there. And since I know a lot of people don't have these yet, there's a lot of confusion regarding their action features, as simple as they are. So we're just going to go into those with a little bit of detail, and hopefully all doubts will be cleared. Let's go into the Kevin Flynn one first. Let's take Sam out of the picture for a second, and let's go into Kevin's bike. Kevin Flynn's bike, as you can see, is modeled after the original Tron bikes from the original movie. This one will actually appear in the new movie as well. You can actually see it on the trailers. A lot of people don't know this. They think this is just like a retro thing, but it is in fact in the movie now. Again, we're not going to review the whole thing. We're just going to go into the action features now. As you may know, when you get these from the store, they have the little button exposed where you can press it, and it has the light up feature, which actually focuses light on these holes over here and on the ring on the front wheel, let's say. Has that roller on the bottom. Doesn't have a wheel actually on it, but you can see the light reflecting all over the place. On the bottom of the bike, you have the 3 settings, which is a toggle button. It's right here. You're not going to be able to see this very well. Let me see if I can light that up for you guys. Okay, now it's focused and it's close enough. Now you can see the toggle button right there over the little warning not to dispose in the trash can, etc. You have a 3-set toggle. You have a left setting, which is an on setting, which is a little line. Of course, there's the off setting in the middle, and then the E setting, which is for Try-Me mode. Try-Me mode, it's the way it's going to be from the store when you get it. Now, when you press the button on the side, this is what you get. Flicker on for a couple of seconds, flicker off. Now, this is the way it's going to be all the time. Now, it doesn't reset the timer when you repress it. It just goes off. Now, a lot of people are confused because the on button, when you toggle it up to on, first of all, it doesn't light it up, and then when you do this, it just flickers and it goes off. Now, there's a couple of reviews out there on the net that are confused, and not all of them, but 1 or 2 that I've seen, and they haven't corrected this. They have noticed that there's a button in the cockpit for the bike. Now, when you press this, if it's in the off or the Try Me setting, when you press it, nothing happens. Look. You can hear it. Kind of clicks when you push it, but it doesn't click when it comes up. Of course, if it's Try Me and off, it doesn't do anything. When it's in on setting, remember that flicker it did when it was in on and you just press on it? Flicker and that's it? That's what it's going to do when you press it. That's all there is to it. Now, here's where the confusion arose. That's all people think it does, unless you're getting the Tron figures. Now, the box clearly says the figure will light the bike up. And here's where the little magic thing comes here in these toys. When you put the Tron figures inside, they press the button. Now, the flicker is not really an action feature. The flicker actually works to notify you, the user, no pun intended, that the figure is in place correctly. Because when this button is pressed, and it flickers on and off, if you keep it pressed, the next time you hit the button for the action feature, it's going to stay on for a lot longer. Look. See? Doesn't go off. Now, it will go off automatically. Now, if you keep pressing this, again, it will not reset the timer and it will not turn it off. It's just going to keep on going until it shuts off by itself. Which it will. There you go. It also shuts off if you take your finger out of the button. It goes on, you take your finger out, and it powers off. Basically what it is that you put the figures inside, the figure is supposed to keep pressing the button, and the little flicker is to tell you that it's in place correctly. When you lock it down and the figure is in there, once you press the button, it's supposed to stay on. Now, you may try to put another figure in here, like let's say G.I. Joes or Infinite Heroes, maybe some Marvel Universe figures. They will fit. Not all of them will activate the button. Why? The way this is done, and I think it's pretty smart, let's just grab a random figure. Let's just use Sam. Oh, he's beheaded. Let's put the head back on, and I'll explain to you in a minute why that head is off. These figures, since they have the light up feature, by the way, if you notice something different about mine is that I colored the lines in the suit. I don't know if you can get the detail there. See, now it looks completely uniform. You go to the back, you go to the front, and you don't have those dark lines that are there for the light up feature. And this doesn't interrupt the light up feature, by the way. Look, it still lights up. You can still see it pretty well, both in the dark and lighted situations, and when it goes off you can still see the detail of the suit. Now that's why mine looks a little different. Now besides that, they have the light up mechanism, of course, as in the torso. That's why the figure is completely articulated. Now you lose the mid torso movement that most 3 3/4 figure have, that little mid torso joint, because the figure is so rigid in this area, and it's not too thick, but it's not too thin either. It ensures that when it goes into the bike, the belly of it's going to be pressing down on it. So what happens is, you put these little figures in there, they will press on the button, and when you close the canopy will press the button and it'll flash, letting you know that it's in place, and then you can just play with your Tron bike. And I'll show you that in a second. Alright, and here we have the Kevin Flynn cycle with Sam securely posed inside. And I'm going to show you now what it looks like when you have the figure inside with the belly of the figure pressing the button, and you press the action feature. And here we go. Flicker on, and it just stays on. There you go. And that's like the real action feature of the bike. The other thing is just the Try Me mode. This is what it's supposed to be doing. It's staying lit up, and it still goes off after a couple of seconds, but as you can see, there you go. It lights on for a lot longer. Here we go from the right side, and now we'll make it get another look from the other side. It lights up beautifully. A lot of people are complaining that theirs are not lighting up all the way around. Now they're not gonna do it, as you can see from this angle. So even in the dark, let me just light it up again on either side, because of course the bulb, the LED light, it's all the way in the back here, but still it actually goes all the way across on mine. So I don't know if I was lucky that way, or maybe it's the batteries. When I got mine, I made sure it had the little tab unpulled, so I would have a full set of batteries, even if it's factory batteries. But nonetheless, that's what it's supposed to do. Now we're gonna open it up, and I'm gonna show you how to pose that figure correctly, so you can actually get that feature in there. And if you're gonna do it with another set of figures, you can know what to do as far as getting the feature to work perfectly. Alright, now the bike, as you can see, I just lit it up. Again, like the other Try Me setting, if you keep pushing on it, it's not going to reset the timer, and it's not going to turn it off. It's just a one-hit deal. The figure is inside right now. I don't know if you can barely tell due to the lighting, but nonetheless, it's inside. Now we're going to open the cockpit here, and there goes the figure. I used the Sam Flynn figure again, and this is the position that works best for me. So you can see he's basically standing up straight. I just lift the legs back, bent at the knees. Instead of being all the way straight, I just bend them a little, like to take the chest and the gut out, because this right here is what's going to push the button inside the cockpit. I bend the arms a little bit back. I don't actually put them on the handlebars, it's easier just to get in and out like this. Put the legs in there in the back, lay him in the front. His belly is already resting on the button, and what I do to ensure that he pushes down the button, you don't push it down yourself, because you're gonna get the flicker, but it's gonna push it out again. So you just don't do that. Just put it there, and what you make sure is that when you close the canopy pushes on the figure. So that is what makes the figure, you see, push down on the action button. And when you press the action button on the outside, it just stays light up. And that's the best way to get the results that you want out of this toy. It's a beautiful piece of plastic. It works great, and if you watch any other reviews, you combine it with this, you can have a lot of fun with this thing. Now let's go into the other one, which is the Sam version of the bike.